Hey, friends, how are you today? Oh my gosh, I haven't gone live with you all solo, just me without a guest in over 2 years. Actually, not over 2 years. It's been 2 years. So today is 2 years, 11/11. So I'm super excited. So let me know if you are here with me. I know today is Veterans Day. So the first thing I would like to do is acknowledge all of those who served for our country, men and women, including my husband, Mike. I'm definitely grateful for your service and thank you for all you do. I know it's not an easy task to serve our country. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to do a live today because there are several things that I want to celebrate with you. And so if you are here, I'm going to check the phone too. So if you are here with me live, just let me know because for our first two guests that join live and comment and say hello, I will be sharing. I will be sending you a copy of my book. Today would be 2 years um, of the book launch. So it was 11/11/22, and I really wanted to have it on 11/11/22, and today is 11/11/24. 2 years later, and my goodness, has it been an incredible and challenging 2 years. Again, it's like the challenges are what grow us and expand us. So please, like, if you're here with me, let me know. Just type it in the chat wherever you're joining us from. Love to, I would love to hear from you. And there are several, milestones this week. And I just realized that the other day, because I love the number 11/11. I said, oh my gosh, it's 11/11. So it's been 2 years since the book launch. And also this week, we are going to celebrate our 100th episode of the podcast. So, and this week also marks 25 years that I have been an entrepreneur, 25-year anniversary for Stansberry as well. So I thought, my God, it's such a big week that I want to do something fun and celebrate with you because I know there's so much, chaos and things are, heavy oftentimes. I wanted to do something fun to celebrate. And really, without my community, wouldn't be able to celebrate these milestones, because for those of us that are entrepreneurs and in business, we really are grateful for our clients and for the people who show up to support our businesses. So it's been an incredible 25 years on this entrepreneurial journey. And actually, I started my entrepreneurial journey on my birthday, 11/8/1999. So it's interesting. Like, I was thinking about it, that this week is so, instrumental with so many milestones. And let me tell you, it's been, I mean, some like great wins and some really challenging moments. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people in my life that are supporting me. So today I wanted to just get on and share. I wanted to have fun. I know it's Veterans Day. So again, thank you to all of the men and women who have served in our armed forces, including my husband, Mike. So thank you for that. And I wanted to forever, whoever's here with us, who's joining us, for the first three people to say hello, hey, say something, I will be sending you a copy of my book. And if you already have it, then you can definitely gift it. So thank you all. So please, like, let me know you're here. I definitely want this to be interactive today. So if you're just joining us, I was sharing that 11/11/22 launched, we launched the book, and that almost didn't happen. So we're celebrating that. And if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have, been a success. Celebrating 25 years on my entrepreneurial journey that started 11/8/1999. And also this week will mark our 100th podcast. And you know who my podcast guest is going to be? Honestly, I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. She's amazing. She wrote the foreword to the book. My 100th podcast guest this Wednesday, we're recording early at 10:45 a.m., will be Sunny Dawn Johnson. So I'm excited that she's going to join me because it was through Sunny's help and being in her mastermind that I overcame my fear to show up live. Like, you guys, I was terrified to go live, and that was a big part of having, a successful business. At that time, several years ago, video was happening and you had to show up in video or else you might not, you're always going to be successful. I don't want to say you're not going to succeed, but a big part of growing your business was creating, these videos. And I was terrified to be seen. So, hello, I have Facebook user. Oh my gosh, it doesn't say who your name is. So hold on. I got 3 people already um saying hey. So who are my 3 winners? Let me see if those come up in on Facebook because it's not showing your names. Let me see. Okay, I have Auntie Rima Zarur's here. I'm going to send you the book. You get it? And then, oh, Allison, thank you for joining us. But girl, you already have a copy of the book. Allison's my assistant, so I hear her laughing in the background. So please, like, if you're here with us, share. I would love to gift, the other 2 copies. So one is going to Rima Zarur. Thank you for joining us. And look, I wanted to really, I just want to make a note so I don't miss that. So one's going to Rima. So again, if you're here, let us know. And I'll also check Facebook. It looks like in StreamYard, for some reason, I'm not able to see, the comments and who's joining us. So I will take a look at both. So, 11/11/2022 was, was a big day, and it was a fun day. Also, a few days later, we had a super fun party, and thank you for all of you that joined us there. But 2 months before that, I had just had, a surgery, like I mentioned, in when we launched. Well, the book launched, and I really wasn't able to invest the time in marketing the book the way I wanted to because I had to really focus on, healing my body. Now, anyone who's had any challenges with the thyroid, I feel with you because the struggle is real, because the thyroid just really regulates your entire body. So I had been working on this, book project for 5 years, and I was really excited about it. And then what happens? Life happens, and I get, you know, an axe in my plans, because what do they say? You can plan, but always be prepared. Things may not go your way. And so my publisher had come to me and asked me if I wanted to push the book launch out, and I really didn't. So I really pushed through to get this book out in 11/11/22, and I'm really grateful I did, because if I had waited a year later to 11/11/23, I would not have been comfortable launching the book in November of 2023 because I was devastated, witnessing a genocide. And then I wouldn't have been able to show up and in this space, be excited and have fun because I was devastated by what was, going on in Palestine with the genocide. And so everything unfolds the way it's meant to. And in the book, I really talk about mindset and how important mindset is. And I want to just, like I said, be here to share with you and get vulnerable on what I had to navigate. And if it wasn't for the mindset that I talk about in the book, if it wasn't for the principles, I don't believe I could be where I am today. Because when I was going to get the surgery, I was told that I would never be the same again. My health would decline. I would never be the same again. And I was like, why would you tell somebody that? So whoever's watching, I want you to know that, yes, challenging things happen, and we have a choice on how we want to move forward. Because the last 2 years have been I'm grateful, and it's been crazy. So who else came and joined us? The next one on, say hello, Deanna. So book number 2 goes to Deanna Roberts Swadan, and book number 3 goes to Vicky Martinelli. Thank you, ladies. So I will definitely will reach out to you to get your address so we can get you a copy of the book. So thank you all for joining me. I'm kind of just riffing over here. And Deanna Roberts, Swadan, congratulations, ladies. So for some reason, I cannot see who's joining us on the StreamYard. So I will also have my phone so I can see who's joining us. Karina's with us, Vicky Martinelli. I see Maher's with us. That's awesome. So again, I haven't gone live by myself in 2 years for a few reasons. First of all, I don't like to hear myself talk. I really love being here with my guests and other people. Two, I had to really focus on my healing. For the year after, I didn't realize like how long it would take to get back to feeling good again. And actually, like I said, they told me I would never feel the same again. My health would decline. And I'm going to tell you, like, I feel better now than I ever have. And that makes me emotional, because had I not had the right mindset, and that physician told me I'd never be the same again, I may have internalized that as true, and I wouldn't be showing up here in front of you today. So I want to really emphasize like how important it is to be mindful of our thoughts, and kind of want to get vulnerable and share with you what I experienced. And again, I'm going to go back and forth, see who's here with us. So Deanna, I'm not a big reader, but I'll definitely read that. Thank you. I do have the Audible on my bucket list, but I haven't gotten to it because, like I said, the last couple of years, my focus, I definitely stayed consistent with the podcast, which I love. And thank you all for continuing to join me on the podcast. I love the guests. They inspire me. And that's why I do it, because I feel like inspiration, especially now, is so important. So again, wanted to share about what I've been going through so you can see something like you're not alone. You're not alone in some of these things that we face. So I felt like face this, huge health crisis, was not able to get out and really market my book the way I wanted to. Like we had the party and it was great. But I had to put it on the shelf. I'm grateful for my community that it was a successful launch, but I wasn't able to move forward and do things the way I wanted to because I had a health crisis. And if you read the book, not only did I have a health crisis, I'm getting emotional because I'm so grateful. Not only did I have a health crisis, we had a family crisis too. So I was navigating, a thyroidectomy, getting those cancerous growths out of my body, the book launch, addiction in the family, finally, started, navigating recovery, so many things that we've been walking through over the last 2 years. And what I did was I really took a deep dive into just being like, I was showing up and I was doing my, the businesses, but very basic. Like I did the very minimum, very basic. So I want you to know that there are going to be seasons in your life that it's okay to step back. It's necessary. And during that season, thoughts crossed my mind like, well, is this it for me? Am I always going to feel this way? Because I would feel like every day like I was hitting a wall. I remember it was October 17th. That's actually my mom's birthday. And I had my first appointment with my doctor after the surgery. And I got up that day and I got dressed and I showed up to, with a Zoom visit with her. And when she saw me, she was like, oh my God, you must be a very motivated, dedicated person. And I said, I am. But like, why would you even say that? Like, why? Like in my mind, like, why would you say that? Why? She said, because based on the numbers that I saw in your lab work, you shouldn't even be able to get out of bed. And let me tell you, I started bawling and crying in that moment because my body hurt me. Like I was hurting. I knew I wasn't the same, but in my mind, I know some people don't like that phrase, fake it till you make it. But for me, it worked because I would get up. Yes, my body was hurting, but I would still get dressed. I would still, go do my walk or go do whatever I needed to as slow as I could. I would still show up. So that for me, showing up that day, maybe today for me, that would be showing up at 5%, but that day I was showing up 100%. So she was like, wow, I just want you to know that every day that you're getting up right now, like you're hitting a brick wall. And I was like, holy cow. Well, I do. I felt like I was hitting a brick wall, but I wasn't going to let it stop me because I was determined. Because, like, how can I write this book and then not practice like what I preach? But I also I knew inside of me that like I wasn't gonna like I was only 50. How old was I 2 years ago? 52. Like I was only 52 years old. There was no way that I was going to accept that this is how I was going to feel for the rest of my life. So I want to see who else is here with me. Because if you're here, let me know. I'd love to know who's here with me. So again, like I just want you to know, I know life is not easy. I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, the rose-colored glasses. And what I've experienced and navigated the last 2 years, I'm here to tell you that I believe in miracles and I 100,000%, even more so now, believe in the principles that I wrote about in, Can I Live? Dare to Go from effed up to fabulous. Oh my God, my voice just cracked. One of the first podcasts I did after my surgery, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. Like I showed up and like I had this, my voice was just cracking. And I'm like, Grace, all good. It doesn't matter. At least, you showed up. And so that's what's important for us to show up for ourselves. So again, if you're here and you have questions for me, I would, love to answer any questions because there's a lot that I can share. And we could talk about, again, like my healing journey, the healing journey. Yeah, because when they take out that thyroid, that's like, like I said, it regulates your whole body. So after that, I started to deep dive into health. And I realized that I really needed to be my own advocate and take my health into my own hands. Because once my blood work came back and they said it was okay based on their standards, I knew I still wasn't okay. So I started studying different authors, different what do I want to call them? Just started reading different books about how to really be in my optimal health. And it's amazing what you learn. So some of the oh, here we go. Thank you. If you're here with us, just like I said, I'm checking the phone too. Just let me know that you're here. So I just started really deep diving into how can I help myself feel better? Because I didn't want to feel the way I was feeling for the rest of my life. Like they said, okay, you're never going to be the same again. You're going to go downhill. And I said, I'm not gonna buy that. I already know I've come this far with my mindset. I've created the life that I want to this point with the mindset. I'm not going to get all the way here and you're going to tell me that's it, it's over. So I really was focused on my emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, and financial fitness because it's all connected. And so I just went back to the basics. I realized that, I had been a workaholic, which, I knew that, and I was, doing too much. And I had done such a great job by the time the book launched of changing my life so much, but I realized there was more work to do. So who's here with us? Oh, Vicky Martinelli said this morning, I said I wanted to get on your show and win a book. So yeah, there you go. You manifested that. Oh my God, Sunny Dawn Johnson's here with us. She says, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yes, I do the work. And I really want to emphasize how us doing the work changes our life. And so, what does it mean by doing the work? Doing the work for me meant like looking at my life and the areas in my life that were not working and first thing I had to do is like own the fact, okay, like this part of my life isn't working. Obviously, after a health crisis, there's something in my health that wasn't working. What did I need to do better? And for me, health means the trilogy: mind, body, and soul. And so I needed to take time and step back. And so it's look, you guys, it's 2:22 here in Pacific Standard Time. So I love that. Um, I had to look and see like what wasn't working for me. And so there were a lot of things that weren't working. What worked for me then to get to this point, and it was great, the universe kicked me in the booty, and then things weren't working anymore. So doing the work, I'm going to go back to that, means like really looking at our lives and say what areas are not working for us. Take accountability for your part and why it may not be working, and then start making the changes that need to be done. I'm trying to like really think back. One of the first things I needed to do is just look at where I was spending my time and how I was spending my time. And it was for the first time in my life that I had to really focus on myself. And I had to heal because my body hurt. I couldn't do the things that I used to do. And my worth was tied to how much I achieved. And so I had already worked on untying that belief. And so in the time in that year, I had to really work on just being and healing. I wasn't creating anything new. I was just doing the basics because ultimately, my friends, it's about loving ourselves and owning, who we are. And I know that I've talked about that before, and I thought I understood it, but like I had to go to an even deeper level to understand it even deeper. So after I had that call with the doctor on October 17th, I just took my time. Like I said, started reading books. I started to eat differently. And I used to make fun of people, okay, that I'm like, okay, you don't eat gluten, you don't eat dairy, you don't do this. Well, now I know like that was a total judgment because I was afraid because I love to eat food, I love to eat everything. Like I was afraid to give up these things. However, I did start little by little changing my lifestyle. And I had to let go of, some relationships, some interactions that were really difficult. I stopped really drinking alcohol. Um, I'd have something here and there, but if I wanted to get back to a place where I felt amazing, I knew I had to do something different. And it's hard. Like I was like, I've been living like this for so long and I've done so great. I don't want to give up these things because then I feel like a nerd. Let me tell you, I did feel like a nerd for a while. But then now that I feel so amazing, it's not being a nerd. It's really, you want to step into your optimal self and be your best self. And yes, each person, you could do things in moderation, yes. However, at that point that I was for myself, I had to really get committed and consistent with, my health and my mindset to get myself back to amazing after my health crisis. And I'm not gonna front, there was a part of me that was like, oh my God, like what if I'm never the same again? And I said, well, you know what? I'm not going to think about that. What if I can be better than I ever was? And so I would surround myself with people who motivated me. I would listen to motivational podcasts, all of the time. And the universe has a funny way of bringing you examples of what you desire. And so what started happening was I started meeting people that were, much older than me, like in their 60s and 70s, who were vivacious, who were in great health, like who are like doing these inferno classes in the studio with me, who are running marathons. And so the universe was, was bringing me examples of what's possible. So I was told, like, you're never going to be the same again. Your health is going to decline. But like, I'm just starting my life. And so God is so great, God, universe, the higher power, whatever you choose to call it. I'm going to call it God, kept bringing me examples of what is possible. So I want to see who else is here with us. Jody Harvela is here. Amber Clayton, Rania Haddad Almuti is here. Lena Fota Toda. So thank you guys all for joining me. I think it's awesome that you're here with me. So yes, I please, if you have questions, I'm happy to answer questions. Someone wrote, let's see who wrote this. I'm trying to go between the phone and the StreamYard, because StreamYard's not telling me who it is, but who wrote this? Vicky wrote, this is divine timing for me as I'm a workaholic and I'm exhausted. I'm in search of joy, totally understand achievement, self-care. Okay. So I feel you, that's where I've been, many, many times. I know that I am, why am I getting emotional? Whew, vulnerability, right? Yes, I'm a recovering workaholic as well, and I feel you. And I've been burnt out many times, and I get exhausted. And I feel you when you say I'm in search of joy. Doing the work that I have, I'm going to be straightforward. Like, my self care is the number one priority, and I grew up believing that self care meant you're selfish, and that's why, like, I would never want to take care of myself. But self-care is the number one principle that we really need to focus on. The one, I don't know if principle is the right word. Like, okay, like, I'm perfectly flawed, you guys, so I'm gonna, mess up the things I say. I get it. It's I get it. I tied my achievement to my self-worth, and then we keep going. And it's also a habit. Like, it becomes a habit. But I want to tell you something. Every I'm not joking. Like, every day I wake up, like, I feel a sense of joy. I feel a sense of excitement. Like, if you had told me I would feel this way, 5 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, you could have good days and there's bad days. Of course I have bad days, but what I'm saying here is we could have bad moments, but we can do the work to get us into a place where we are at peace. And I'm just going to be straightforward right now, and I get it. I might not be for everyone. What did I saw something today about Bruce Lee, came up perfect timing. It says, have the courage to be disliked. And the last year, I've really had to have the courage to be disliked. And I'll share more about that. There's so many things that I can talk about, but it's like, peace and joy comes when we are connected to ourselves and to the higher power of understanding. I'm calling it God, because I've learned, like, I can't, he can. So I let him, I surrender. So when I'm in that place where I'm feeling insecure and less than because I haven't achieved enough, I know, like, okay, Grace, like, you need to step back and connect to a higher power. That's your ego. That's your insecurity. That's you not feeling good enough. That's on, and then that's on me to go back into, and it's not easy. I'm telling you, like, I've struggled the last year with this, after the war, and watching, the people suffer. Like, um I felt like I was terrified. I didn't want to show up. I was afraid, like, what are people going to say? Like, how can, I show up when, people are dying in this genocide? How am I going to do this? Well, it's my responsibility to show up. It's all of our responsibility to show up for ourselves, to step into the optimal person that we are. And that means, it doesn't mean being tied to tying our worth to the achievement. Like, yes, I love the achievement. It's fun. I have a great time meeting my goals and achieving. However, it's like, when it's tied to our worth, it's exhausting, and we're going to be chasing, the dragon. So, what is one thing that you could do for yourself today that can bring you, the joy? And it's the habits, it's baby steps. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that. And sometimes I fall back into it. So, who else is here? Oh, yes, yes, whoever's watching the replay. I know. Yes, thank you. I know people have busy days, so um, I appreciate, those of you that are here. The replay definitely will be there. So again, like I'm here with you, interactive for the next, few minutes. So if you have any questions, like I said, this could be. I have so many things that I could share on. So if there's something, you have a question on, definitely let me know, because I could really make this, like 10 different podcasts with everything that I have to share. Because at the same time, for you ladies, I was also navigating the change of life. And so that struggle is also real. So just want you to know, like, it's okay, not to be okay. And want you to realize, like, look back at your life. You've done hard things, like connect the dots. And what doing the work is, it's also preparing you for the inevitable challenges of life that are going to, they're coming, they're going to come. And how prepared are you? And so now I play life as a game, doing the work and preparing, because then you can be strategic when you have the tools and you're emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially, fit. You've been doing the work on the 5 pillars. When those inevitable life challenges come, you're going to be more prepared. And really, at the end of the day, um, all of our challenges, everything, like the chaos we've gone through, it's been nuts. Been chaotic. It's been nuts. Um, and for me, this is just my experience. Like, from my experience, it helped me get closer to my creator, helped me get closer to God, because I know that, you know, it's I can't go searching for me outside of me. It has to come from here, and to my connection to a higher power. And so I can't, he can. So I let him surrender. If we are, in control and in resistance, we are not going to get to where we're going. It's going to be harder to get to where we are going. And number one is doing the work, taking accountability for where we are in our lives. And, look, we live in the United States of America. We do have freedom. Yes, it is a mess. It is chaos. I understand that, but there are, some people, like, the people in Gaza, the Palestinians, being Palestinian American, it's very difficult for me to watch that. That's why what we could do is step into the greatest, step into our potential, be the best that we can be, so we can get a seat at those tables, so we can have a voice, because the adversary would prefer us to be down and depressed, for us to believe that we can never be the same again. Like, if I believed that my health was declined, I would never be the same again, then I would be, I would be useless. Okay. I'm just going to call it spade a spade. I would be useless. Then I wouldn't be a threat to the adversary. Right. But that's why it's important, and it's not our responsibility to do the work, do our work, step into our greatest self, and work on our mindset, connect to ourselves and a power greater than us, because that's how the change happens. That's how the change happens. Like I said, I can, be here with you all day. I would love that. I agree, must do the work and surrender. Yes, we do. And we listen. We also need to, um, be honest with ourselves, because we've created, the life that we live regardless of how it is. And so what was your part? What's your part in, what you created? Like, for me, my part in my health crisis was, um I still wasn't speaking up in certain situations. I was still taking on too much. So I can't blame, I can't blame the other person, or I can't blame my work. I can't blame the economy. I can't blame the war. I got to look at myself and what's my part and take accountability. And yeah, like I wasn't great at setting boundaries. So who's this here with us? Let's see. Um, I'm going to read Amber Clayton. Hey, Amber. I have had major life changes over the last several years, big things, very stressful things, relationship changes, selling a home, moving, career change, and so many other things. I'm addicted to the concept of YOLO and not being able to get quiet and sit still. I still manage self-care, doing fun things, but need to practice quiet, resting my body and mind. Oh, sister, I feel you on that. That's one of my challenges. I'm also addicted to YOLO. And so one of the things that I have a hard time doing as well is sitting still and saying no. Like I want to constantly be being out there and doing the fun things. Oh, so funny. Look at, I feel it in my body right now. That I'm also having a hard time resting and sitting and resting my body and mind. And let me tell you, Amber, that is where the magic happens. And I know it's not easy because you're right, it's an addiction, it's a habit. Same thing, like I'm used to going, that when I sit, it's hard for me to sit. However, over the last couple years, I've learned like I have to sit in quiet. And that's where I get my deepest connection to God, is when I sit in quiet. Um, and we talk about um achieving and the hustle, and I still love to achieve and I love the hustle, but we can do the hustle in a harmonious way, which means taking the time to sit still. We're not going to miss out on, we're not going to miss out because when we're in alignment with our spirit, we're not going to miss out. And that's where I think there's a myth. Yeah, we gotta hustle. Yes, I'm gonna tell you, yes, we do have to hustle, but we can hustle harmoniously and rest, because it does take an effort to create and achieve our goals. However, to really be, to really create that joy and have that success and that peace, you need that time out. And that's what I'm telling you. Like I wake up each day in a peace. I'm gonna get emotional that I've never felt. At first, I thought, that peace was like, oh my God, am I down? Am I bored? Am I numb? No, girl, that is peace. I've just been so used to hustling, and my life's been great. I haven't really had much drama for a long time, but you have the drama of the world. Like the last 5 years have been insane. And again, that's another reason why, practicing that self-care is so important. So who's this? Well, I have a heck of a time I know. Like we have it's not just a woman thing. Like I see my husband, like he has a really hard time sitting too. Same thing, because he's like, he doesn't know this, but he's also tying his worth to his achievement. So when we start doing the work, we uncover our stories, and those stories that got us here are not going to get us from here to here in the second act, right? So, and I can, like I said, I could be here with you all forever. So, I love you all so much. I want to be respectful here for your time. There's so many things that we can dive deep into. So, if there is something you want to touch on, let me know. So, I'm going to tell you, like, anything is possible. I have experienced incredible miracles, especially the last couple of years. And it's when we take the time to do the work that it happens. We can create a life that we love. I'm telling you, it is possible, regardless of our circumstances. Yes, and us living here in the United States, like we are privileged. Okay, let's call it spade. We are privileged. We don't have to worry about, bombs falling on us. We don't have to worry about, like, we have food, we have water, we have shelter. So what is stopping you from living that incredible life that you deserve? We all can have it. I'm telling you, if I did it, like I walked with a girlfriend today and I shared a little bit more with her, and she's like, "What the heck?" I'm like, "I know." It's like it's possible for anyone. Um, if you ever have any questions, just reach out. I'm definitely here. I know I went on a tangent today on a lot of different things. there's so many things that, I can share with you. So just let me know. And Amy just joined us, Amy Fregosi. Thank you for joining. I want to remind you that on Wednesday, Sunny Dawn Johnson will be joining me. She's amazing. Like, I'm telling you, she's someone that's, one of my mentors who's helped me completely change my life, the last 10 years. I've been very, I've been very grateful. I definitely created a tremendous success, but I didn't have the success, in here. And now I have both. And I want to share that because we can have the joy and the peace. And you know what's stopping us? Us. Like, if I want something, you know what's stopping me from achieving it? Me, and thinking it's going to come from outside. Because, and again, connecting to ourselves and to God. But like, God's amazing. When we decide and commit to something, He brings people. He brings the right people into our lives. So I feel like He works definitely through the people in our lives. So I want to wrap this up. Thank you everyone for joining. Amber, have a great week as well. If you're watching the replay, also put questions in. I'll definitely come back, but stay tuned for the new year 2025. Have some really amazing, fun, exciting guests that are going to join me. The blog is going to be coming back in 2025. I will be also launching a new mentoring program in 2025, and also a mastermind group. So stay tuned for those fun things in 2025. And they're coming. I can't tell you when because I'm going at my pace, and when things are in alignment, but they are coming. I also am going to be, doing speaking engagements. So I have a few of those. So if you are looking for a speaker for your teams, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm definitely happy to help you with that. So thank you for letting me join you, be here with you live solo, because I love coming on with my guests. I love celebrating them. And it's like so much easier because I don't like hearing myself talk, but I know that this was part of my homework, stepping outside the box. I was so uncomfortable. And that's a good sign. When you are uncomfortable, that means step out and do it. If you ever have any questions or need anything, just please send me a DM. I am definitely here from you. Just let me check and see if you have any other questions. I think we're good. I love you. Thank you for joining me today, letting me break the seal and show up live again, solo. Join me Wednesday with Sunny Dawn Johnson. We will be live. She's amazing. And then stay tuned. I love you all. I appreciate you. I will continue to share more on the changes that I experienced. And I'm going to come back. I might have Mike join me so we can maybe in December do a live with him on, because I know some of you are curious. If you read the book and you read the epilogue, you're probably curious about that. So I love you all. Thank you so much for watching me. I wish you an incredible rest of the day. I love you. I appreciate you. And honestly, if it wasn't for you in the community, I wouldn't, be doing this work the last 25 years. I love you. Have a great day. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.